So do you remember like 2 years ago that one cop that decided to empty their entire mag because they thought an acorn falling was the same sound as a gunshot?
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
And after emptying his clip, he then does Dark Soul rolls and he thinks he's been shot, and then he gives up on that idea, realizing he's actually good.
I'm good. I feel weird, but I'm good.
Yeah, being weird is an understatement there, my guy. But the reason why I bring this up is because another strange cop altercation happened where they're in the wrong, and instead of, correcting themselves, they double down. What I'm talking about is like last week, an off-duty cop decided to clock out of work and then clock right back in on their neighbor's kids, basically pulling up a gun on a group of teenagers in the neighborhood, acting as if they're running some sort of solo mission in GTA, and yeah, the footage is pretty disturbing.
Stop! Hey! No! 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 Stop! Stop! Do not shoot! Why are you putting
Get on the ground!
Why are you doing what?
Get on the ground!
Okay! Bro, what are you doing?
Get on the fucking ground!
No, help! Help! Why, dude, what are you doing?
Hey!
Why are you pointing that gun at me? Dude, what are you doing? Hey, help! 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 Mom! Mom!
Like, the kid is screaming for his mom. Are we being for real right now? Like, let me paint the picture of the scene. 6:47 something p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. The perfect time for crime and mayhem, apparently, to this dude. Deputies get called to this neighborhood for a disturbance, and surprise, surprise, when they get there, it's one of their own. Apparently, this dude thought dealing with a bunch of teenagers that are just hanging about in their neighborhood is by going guns blazing, as if he's doing his last stand against an enemy force. Now, the reason why I'm covering this topic, because it hits a little close to home. When I was a teenager, I also had to deal with cops and old dudes who seem to be on a power trip. I guess it's some sort of time-honored tradition throughout human history for these guys to pick fights with teenagers or just young people walking about. Incidents I could think of on the top of my head. One is where me and my friends were just hanging in the park. And I wasn't even a teenager. I think I was just 10 or something at that time. And this cop comes up to us and wanted to do a search of our backpacks and our smartphones or whatever we had at that time. And we said no. We ran away, and the guy really did pull out like pepper spray. Thank God he didn't pull out a gun, but he was trying to pepper spray as if he just, took a dump in the bathroom and was just using it as Febreze. Second one, this one still holds up to my memories to this day, is me just being in a grocery store and pulling out, the coupons from those coupon machines. I was bored. I was waiting for my mom, pulling it out, putting it in. I wasn't like tossing the coupons. I was putting in those little containers for any other customers. And this random old dude in security gear, I mean, I guess you can't call him a cop, but security, whatever, they all have that kind of mentality. They come down and he's like red-faced, right? And he's like, "You do that again, I'm gonna get you arrested. You hear that, kid?" Like, no hi, hello, hey, can you stop that or something? He just charges towards me and says that. And I'm just like, what? And he's like, "I've been watching you in front of the camera for the past 10 minutes and you just keep doing that. You need to stop it right now or else you're going to jail." Hello? You're trying to pick a fight with like a 12-year-old who's just pulling coupon? Also, you're just watching me on the security camera? There's like dozens. It's a huge grocery store. Me! Like, these guys have nothing better to do. They gotta feel some sort of power in their lives. So here we could see it turned out very deadly.
Bro,
Get
what
on the ground! Come here! Come here! Yeah, you see? Get down!
Oh, you're about to get arrested. No, you can't
Get on the ground!
What the fuck?
Get on the ground! Alright?
Hey, sir, can you call the cops? Hey, call the police.
I am the police!
What are you doing?
Get the fuck on the ground!
Yo, hey, stop! Hey, Nicholas, stop! George, stop!
I will
Stop!
shoot you!
But yeah, the video is pretty damning. Guy is just yelling at teens, get on the ground, excessive force, excessive, everything apparently. And one of the teens, rightfully so, tackles him to get him off one of his friends. And the guy spins around, points his gun, and says he'll shoot. Meanwhile, the other teen is screaming for like help and whatnot because this donut patrol turned the cul-de-sac into a hostage scene. And at one point, one of the teens yells, "Call the police," and he thinks he's tough. "I am the police." Brother, that is not reassuring. That sounds like something a villain from an 80s action movie would say. Oh my god. And it gets worse. There's more footage I found. It gets way worse.
Mom! He's dragging him! Yo, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Now!
Dude, what the fuck is your problem? Mom! Ow! Mom! Stop! Yo!
Call the sheriff's office.
Come on!
Fuck down on the ground.
What
Get
the
on the
fuck
ground.
did we do?
Enter the neighbor. This dude walks outside his house, sees teens screaming help and bloody murder, and instead of trying to analyze the situation like a normal human being, decides to start joining in with the deputy and telling the kids to get on the ground. And then he does his best impression of a fridge learning to walk for the first time in his life. I wish I was making this up. I really wish I was making this up, man. Like, the dude straight up, like, sits on them as if they're picnic blankets. And then it's like as if he's been waiting his whole life to play cops and robbers, and now he's got the chance. Man. Maybe like that cartoon, Codename Kids Next Door, or whatever it was. Maybe they had the right idea that old adults are just out of their goddamn mind these days. Like, what is happening? Those teens are never going to trust adults again, that's for sure. Like, oh my god, like, it's going to be very hard for them to trust anyone growing up from now on. This whole thing went from a disturbance call to a neighborhood battle royale.
Walk away!
Mom! What? Mom, I was just in the house. What just happened?
Walk away!
At some point, this mom shows up, or I think just a concerned civilian walking her dog, and this cop who's still vaping his own fumes is like, walk away. Bro thinks he was so tough for picking fights with teenagers and suburban moms with labradoodles. Like, okay, man, okay, it's all yours. Oh my god. So what was the fallout? Sheriff's office had to immediately go, about that guy, we don't claim him, and then said deputies are held to a higher standard both on and off duty. Translation, we didn't think we would have to tell our employees not to pull guns on teenagers during dinner time, but here we are. And based on what I'm reading, he got suspended without pay, stripped of his badge, his gun, yada yada yada, and probably his dignity, if he had any. They also called in SLED, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division of that area, to investigate possible criminal charges. I feel like it's a given criminal charge based on the video evidence, but hey, you do you. Still, I mean, he's away for now, but when you got an officer pointing guns at, like, kids off duty, you don't just need an internal investigation. You need to give that guy therapy, make him meditate under a waterfall, something. And look, I get it. Law enforcement is stressful. Like, I have an aunt in Homeland and an uncle in detective work, and they're often stuck with a 1,000-yard stare. But if your day off involves brandishing your service weapon at teenagers, maybe it's time to pick up gardening. I don't know. You can't just go full Judge Dredd on neighborhood kids because they were, I don't know, a little loud after 6 p.m. That's not really protect and serve. That's just being drunk on power. And saying stuff like, I am the police. No, man, you're a crazed gunman. Look at that. Look at the video. If anyone sees that, a dude like that walking around screaming in public, waving a gun like it's like their laser pointer, they're gonna be rightfully called out a threat. This is the guy you would call 911 on. And what? Honestly, this whole thing feels like a parody. This and that Acorn incident with the other cop. If you're a cop off duty, just be off duty. It's a Sunday afternoon. Go grill something, watch Netflix, don't start role-playing as John Wick because kids decide to hang out outside your house or something like that. And to the super neighbor who thought sitting on teenagers was the right move, if you want to play cop just so badly, maybe hop on GTA Online. I'm sure they would love to have you roleplay there with them. I'm sure they'll love to have you, you know, sit on all the teenagers you want. Okay, let me scratch that last part. That'll still be weird, even in like an online game, like some grown 40-year-old doing that. But yeah, regardless, those kids are never trusting anyone in cargo shorts again. That's for sure. Sad, very sad. But yeah, that's all there is.